Hello and welcome to episode 1, part 2 of our Hunter 1 to 60. We find ourselves in Duratar at level 8, getting on for 9. We need to head to the islands now to clear some the many quests there. And when we get back, hoping that we will be with quests handed in 10. So we're going to try and find a spot to land on this first island where we can kite this tiger safely. Yeah, I don't like this. I know we're killing it, but it doesn't mean I have to like how that went. May as well skin this as well. Right, it doesn't despawn. Is shoot. Okay, interesting. And it's actually under other skills. Well, if they're not taking the leather, may as well take it and say thank you very much for the free coin. No, they didn't loot that even. Oh, they're going south, so we should go north. Do what we can. Why do people come here at level 6 and 7? Like you're literally fighting creatures that are 1 or 2 levels higher than you. I mean, obviously not the Makura, but like some of the creatures further on further in on the other islands are not things that you want to be facing at that level. And that's precisely why we took some time to farm a little bit. To level up, to train, to earn enough to buy a slightly better bow. No eggs there. Are there eggs? Are there even eggs here? Doesn't look like it. So, to this, they were a guild member who was making a character for a Mokra tournament. Go away, Makura Clacker. Go away. Well, even if there's nothing that we can get, we can at least get the leather. Well, there's one set of eggs, so that's something. Another set of eggs. Do the skinning first, just in case things vanish. At least we can see where some things exist. But sadly, all of the things we want to find have been removed already. Oop. And they are respawning. Is good for us. Mm. We say we have some small benefit over others in that we do have track animals. So at least we can see sort of where they respawn on the map. Although we're not having much luck as far as actually getting the fur drops. We might have some eggs. No. Okay. No. Yes. Right, eggs there. That's eggs done with. There's a tiger down here. Right, we're going down to the larger island now. Yeah, in answer to that question, you do not want plus frost damage while you're leveling. You want instant stamina or instant spirit or whatever it is. Anything is better than the frost damage because the frost damage amounts are so tiny. You'd be adding +3 to a dispel that does, what, 60, 100 damage? It's crazy. Hi Mark, how are you? I'm just starting off a hunter here. Do you play a lot of WoW yourself? So what brings you to a WoW stream? Interested in hardcore? Well, this is hardcore World of Warcraft. One life, so if you die, you die, and that's it. Character is gone. Um, if I want to customize my channel, I've kind of got that sort of stuff in the works already. Yeah, I've got that being worked on. I've got some friends who are graphic designers by profession, so they're being quite helpful with that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that sort of thing takes time and iteration. But I've only been streaming for like 6 weeks now. I only really started talking to them about it like 3, 4 weeks ago. Well, it's been like 3 weeks, 2 weeks that they've been thinking on it. But there's no super rush. Right, let's see if this is killable. There we go. Yeah, I'm not really interested in seeing other people's takes on stuff. I want to get a baseline from people I know before looking at other people professionally. I'm sure you can understand that. Like it's just good business. Oh yeah, I mean, I'll see what they come up with. I mean, you know, like they know each other, so they're able to talk to each other and come up with joint ideas as well as their own stuff. But like, you know, I've known them for years, so I trust them and know that they're competent already, you know. And if what they come up with, you know, doesn't sit well, then I can always look at something professionally as well as an alternative. So I'm not interested. I've had a long day. I've got other things that I need to be doing. I just want to chill and enjoy streaming at the moment. I mean, if you leave your channel name, I might have a look at it later. Okay, well I may check it out when I've got a minute later on. Sure. Thanks. And until level 10, the hunter is quite weak and has to rely on long kiting to be successful. It requires a lot of good timing, otherwise this would just fail. Oh, I will, yes, definitely. This is the easy bit, really. It's the ones that heal that make it all the harder. You've got to first kite them, and then they heal, and then you have to have to do it all over again. Let's save that person from problems. And people really don't respect the respawns and stand in the middle of of danger, quite oblivious to what's just about to happen to them. Right, so we need one more of each type of troll. Yeah. Going to engage. I wouldn't mind looting the thing that I killed, but don't really want to pull things that I don't need to at the same time. Thought they were going to fight this one, but apparently not. Oh, was he just waiting for the boss? Okay, well we only need one more next one. So just run through for whatever pitiful loot that was. Look for a hexed troll. And then seek tigers, I think. There's a tiger. Grab that while waiting. As we go seeking tigers elsewhere. We have found a fair few, but we've only had one drop, which is unfortunate. But we've hit level 9 now, which is nice. And when we've got enough tiger kills for the fur, we've got a good few quests to hand in. That should take us, if not 210, then pretty close. Wonderful. They do not seem to have been touched here. So, provided no one else comes, we have this to ourselves. Come on, why did that not? Hasn't got us. No? Doesn't have a cast time. Weird. Good few tigers here still. Something. Okay. It's number 2. Going well. You just missed another artist. I haven't been I haven't been back on all that long this evening. We got to level 8 on the new character earlier today. And another level since I've been back. We've cleared the Zalazane quest quite happily, with much kiting involved, since we don't have a pet. The voodoo trolls are insanely annoying. Like once you've done 3/4 of their health, they then kick out a heal for sort of 60% or so. And then you have to do the damage all over again. Oh, congrats on almost 28. Good. Good going. Right. You can buy a lot of health potions from vendors in limited supply. I don't know how many health potions you need. Yeah, makes sense. AoE farming is somewhat risky at times. Some of the clips you see are pretty much ocean or die. Yeah, it's better to be safe rather than the alternative in hardcore. Yeah, you can get quite a lot of uh, chests to open from the wreckage. They're good. They have lots of useful stuff like random leather and things like that. Not skinnable, that one. But yeah, wreckage, fishing wreckage gives you a lot of really random and useful things. It's definitely worthwhile. It's great for self-found, that's for sure. Tigers respawned. Two tigers have respawned. Grab this one first. Been exceptionally unlucky with the bird drops from these tigers. Forced to respawn on top of me. Ice is a frequent viewer. Drops by the stream. Yeah, Mark was the one here a little bit before you, offering to show me art and things about streamers. We're done with those quests. Go hand them in Senjin Village, then head back up to Razor Hill. The sooner we can get to training and controlling our own pet, the better. Yes, yeah, you you don't follow the really weird script that the bots all do.
Relax. See ya later. Be seeing ya. Okie dokie. You come get the voodoo. What you want? Stay away from the voodoo. Talk to me. later.
Need to grab some more arrows.
How are you? Good to meet ya.
Don't be shy. Be seeing ya.
Brawlhall, go forth to victory. Sung sung. Strength.
Okay.
Blood and thunder, go forth to victory. For the Horde.
Okay. Got just enough to buy a larger, oh,
For the Horde.
not from trade supplies, from general supplies, buy a larger bag.
Loktar. Dabu. What are you looking for? Go with honor.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, that one, doesn't it? It's unbelievably good for its level. And that it's guaranteed as well, that you don't have to worry about it dropping from a boss or losing a roll. You just do the quest and it's there. And it lasts for so long. And it does so much damage. It's quite crazy. For priests and warlocks, it changes everything for a long time. Looks like we're sharing fights with this person. They don't seem interested in partying, which is dumb because it's a kill credit quest, not a share loot quest. Why? Why would you do this? Why would you make people take 5 times as long to complete a quest, including yourself? It makes no sense. It just makes you look dumb. Hooray, finally. Non-stupid progress. Well, they're all scouts, aren't they? Apart from that one corbeau at the back. So if he'd only grouped before, we'd both be done. So dumb. It's so dumb. Some, yeah, you do encounter some still. Obviously, the higher you get, the more people get weeded out, and so you see fewer and fewer people. But equally, generally the people you do see are more competent because they've made it that far. Also depends on time of day, of course. Ooh, there's an elite there. And that is a tough elite as well. And that's without a pet. Hmm. Probably not fighting it. We'll see how much health it's got though. Of interest. Nice. Only 3 times as much as us. Slightly more than. Yes. Only. Probably doesn't have a wand yet. I just kind of want to finish this quest while we're here first. And then we've got more room. we go. So we'll start max range, give it a go. Careful mana. Lots of running. Concussive shot. Lots more running while concussive shot is taking place. Serpent sting. There on it. Concussive shot. Serpent sting. Shouldn't have reapplied that so early. Yeah, I don't like how... If we can bounce the threat in that, we can bring it back to the guards. Does he? Need to bounce that. Entirely possible to do. Like, we had the damage there, and then the priest just stopped aggroing it. It literally just stopped and let it reset. That seemed like a lot of a large waste of time. And we should kite it. So, kite to road and this and that to if we're pulling to the road, we probably don't need to clear as many. Okay. Like, he's meant to be tough. Like, he's a rare elite. Like, that's fine. Assuming that means he's ready. Five, four, three, two, one. Concussive shot again. Miss. Not ideal. You need to hit it. Oh, I need to hit it. There we go. I'm in combat on its threat table. Concussive shot. You need to run. Stop trying to die, Mr. Priest. Right. Oh, missed the concussive again. Not good. Healed. Concussive. Got it. Servant sting. Servant sting. Awesome. Well, what trash? Hey. Worthwhile trash. 2 damage a second to 5.8. Nice upgrade. Oh. And a 10 armor cloak. And a load of trash. Oh. Yes. Priest did almost kill themselves though, with their character anyway. That was kind of crazy. Oh. There was another. Right. Yeah. Why they tried to steal the mob instead of simply inviting to part? Oh, I suppose they might have tried to invite me while I was in the other party. That could have been it. Who knows? Still, it turned out to be worthwhile in the end. And we did not die. In game. Okay.
What can I help you with?
No. I mean, depending on the circumstances. people might not be happy with it, and it might get you a bad rep if people felt particularly put out by it. But I mean, there are certainly situations where I would immediately leave. So like the four candles thing that we talked about the other day, it's like if I saw somebody running around triggering all of them, I would simply hearth out, because there is nothing you can do there with a group of randoms. You know, whoever stays to fight that is going to lose their character. You know, and that's all there is to it. I mean, like every pull is its own case. Like if it's if it's if it's a sketchy pull that looks like it could go badly, I think that you should generally stay in with the group. If, on the other hand, like you've been saying to people multiple times, like, stop doing this, it's really important. Stop doing this, it's really important. And they do it again, then like that's more of a reason to leave.
Loktar, may your blades never dull.
I mean, another example might be, say you're doing Alderman with the that ancient stone boss, with the line of sight and patrol issues. Like if you see somebody there miss pull and chain pull everything, I'm leaving, because like that is lost with a group of randoms. Like you know, it's not salvageable.
Speak, friend. Be safe. Strength.
Um, most pulls are savable, you know. Most pulls you can work with and come out on top, and it's not a problem. I guess I would have to say, like, you don't use your best judgment. Like a lot of those situations, they're not clear cut. You know, everyone has a different perception of stuff.
Magraw, go forth to victory. Be safe. For the Horde.
I mean, certainly when I'm in dungeons, I try and make sure that I'm aware of where we are in the dungeon, what risks there might be, how to prevent those risks from becoming reality ahead of time. And I can do that because I've got a good game knowledge. Not everybody does. There are obviously newer players, and players who need to gain experience so that they have more knowledge, and that's fine, and you do that by playing and learning. And obviously that partly affects perceptions and how you handle different situations. The more you're able to have that knowledge and guide other people, then I think the safer you will end up being as a whole. Because you will be able to prevent a lot of really dangerous situations by identifying the risk ahead of time. It might be something as simple as saying to people, look, this is a dangerous bit of the dungeon. We need to focus more. We need to slow down. We need to be more careful with the pulls because there's a lot more that could go wrong here. And just something as simple as that can have an impact and make things run more smoothly. Yes, yeah, that room, because of the mind controls, you want to pull things using line of sight out to a safe point so that if mind control happens, you've got just a few things to deal with nothing close by. You don't really want to fight them more than one or two at a time, and you certainly don't want to fight them in the room where the rest of them are, because if something goes wrong, it can go incredibly wrong very, very, very quickly. Yeah, absolutely. You just pull them outside onto the walkway. You've already cleared the walkway, it's fine. And that way, what happens is that the healer will have line of sight to everybody and can stand as far back as possible and is not near any of the combat tools, so they're totally safe. The ranged DPS likewise can stand out of danger. The melee DPS can stand by the door and be out of line of sight of any casts until the thing arrives, and then you can lock it down, do interrupts if it tries to cast spells, and they die pretty fast one by one, and it's a non-issue. But people like to be impatient. People like to push forward and see what's going on. People lack patience, essentially. And that particular room just does require patience and letting someone pull the creature to you, essentially. it makes it like so much easier. But you saw what the rogue was like in the run that I did. They were always trying to stand on top of me, always trying to see what was around the corner, trying to see, you know, be on top of combat the moment it started so that they could unleash all of their abilities as soon as possible and dish out massive burst damage. But you're a rogue, you don't need to do that. Like a lot of... I don't know if it stems from how people have to play rogues sort of in the open world, but like generally, as a rogue, you're aiming to kill your target as fast as possible. So combat starts, you mash Sinister Strike or whatever it is, you use the ability multiple times, you go to 0 energy, you wait for energy to refresh, and you use your ability every time as soon as you can. And that's fine most of the time when you're soloing quests in the world, but in dungeons, you don't need to do that. You've got an energy bar. You want to leave energy free to do kicks and interrupts or gouges or whatever it might be to peel for the healer, you know? So you don't, when combat starts, you don't want to burst through your energy and rip threat from the tank, because if you do, it's attacking you. Your tank has no aggro on it, so they're not getting attacked by it, which means they have no rage. So they're then waiting on a taunt in order to taunt back from you. And it just creates this massive, frustrating, stressy mess that shouldn't happen. You know, it shouldn't even be a thing.
What do you need? Strength.
It's weird. Like if all they did was open with one energy ability and then keep their energy obviously below 100%, but sort of around 60-ish, but you don't need to burn through your energy pool. Wait until the mob is low health. Then, if it starts to run, you've got an energy reserve which you can use to burst it at its last and kill it before it actually gets to flee.
Loktar. Be safe.
Ironically, I think dungeons actually go faster and more smoothly if people just play with control rather than with speed. I think certainly if you're in a group of randoms, if you're with a load of people you already know and have played with for ages, that's one thing. You know, you all know how each other play and it's fine. But if you're in a group of randoms, just like playing with that extra control, but if the fight is more controlled, random people will take less damage, and generally there will be then less healing pressure, which means the healer will need to stop and drink less, which means you can pull more and have less downtime. Whereas if every fight is chaotic threat everywhere, then I don't know, if your mage is taking a beating or your rogue, well, they've got less armor than the warrior, so it needs more healing resources. But people don't really sort of seem to think of it like that. Ultimately, it is all about resource management. Right, did we get the ability to train the pet? All pet? Dismiss pet. Tame beast. Scorpion stay. Back. Different thing. Hunter's mark. Sting. Mark. There's a shot. Shot. Strike 2. Yes. Aspect. Monkey. Corporate. Yes. Okay. Um. Hmm. Need to go into Ogrimmar. Up that. I rather want to tame a pet before doing this. Maybe we just tame this one for now. Oh, not enough mana. Fine. Should have turned on aspect of the monkey. Didn't work. Failed. Okay. So this should tame functionally. 2, 1, 3. We have A decidedly unhappy boar. Let's get this boar to attack another boar. Right, tribal belt. Not really what I wanted. I'm somewhat after some boar meat. Oh, nice. Yeah, those are good. Okay. Yeah, the spider silk boats are nice.
Relax. You be careful.
Uh, so, got this quest. We need to go into Orgrimmar, get the anti-venom quest, speak to Thrall for later, do the beast training quest so that we can actually feed the boar. That'll be really useful. And in the Admiral's orders. Largely it. Relatively soon we can do Dark Storms. So go up to Thrall first. No. Venom quest on the way. Then Thrall, then training, and back out again. And I'm very much hoping. Yeah. Oh yes, the I mentioned the Harpy quest the first half of this stream today. We didn't get around, unfortunately, to doing that quest without a pet, so we'll be doing it with one. But we did do a couple of the other areas with kiting without a pet, especially the the healing voodoo trolls.
Brawlhall for the Horde. Talk to me. Hurry back.
You didn't know doing /kiss on Kiwi pedal feet gives you a buff that increases your health by 200,
Loktar, friend. What is it you wish?
which at low level, of course, doubles your health pretty much. So, lasts an hour. That's pretty significant. Yeah. But if you complete the sets of gifts and combine them appropriately, those also provide a buff. The Thunder Bluff gift sets give you 30 stamina for an hour, for example. So that's an extra 300 health. So if you've got both of those and Rend as well, you're really insanely tanky. Like an extra 800 health.
Sug for the Horde. Strength.
Okay, so we've got Growl. Rank 1 and 2. Beast Training, Feed Pet, Revive Pet. So, Feed Pet, Revive Pet. Pet. Feed Pet.
What do you need? Go with honor. Who you be? Spirits be with
So
you.
those were two nice, cheap. Is it? Where's Beast Training? One. No. Okay, it doesn't have enough training points for those, but it now has Growl rank 1 and might have some threat. Actually be able to tank. So, got a little bit more vendor there. We need more food for our boar, so he doesn't hate us. And actually gains loyalty.
Strength and honor. Strength.
Although we might end up ditching this one and training another one. This one's only level 9. It would be simpler to tame one that's 10 or 11 so it keeps pace with us better. But we need to get out there and
You be seeing ya.
uh,
What are you looking for? May your blades never dull.
we need to get out there, get our poison antidote going, and then look at the harpy quests. We're level 10. Pretty much on track level wise. We can pick up a new weapon from the harpy quest, which will be nice. Right. So earlier there were the scorpids alive and nobody was killing them. Is that going to be the case now? That's the question. Yep. Higher level creatures have more resistance to your lower level spells. It's the same with how, well, similar to how melee works. If you're fighting something that's higher level, the combat percentages are skewed in favour of it. If you're fighting something that's lower level, the combat percentages are skewed in favour of you. It only changes a little bit per level, but it all adds up and is noticeable. That's generally why it's bad to fight higher level things. It's just less efficient and more dangerous. Yeah, well, pearls are not common drops anyway. I mean, obviously they do drop from clams. But they're not super common drops. And by that I mean you can open sort of 10 to 15 clams and get one pearl perhaps, maybe two. But, you know, at times it can take more than you would think. It's all down to luck, really. Oh, wow. A green +1 agility for level 6. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's helpful. Come on, Venom Sacks. You can appear. I know you can. Yeah, I was gonna say, if they're not red, the guards don't want to know. No, it has to be hostile, not not just hitting you. It has to be something that's potentially hostile to your faction. So when you get to things like elite giants in Arathi Highlands and stuff, some of those are neutral, and you will not get help. Wow, okay. Poison sac drops are low. Someone is not bothering to loot their boars. Hmm. Right, one more venom sac, and we're done. What's another? Oh, there it is. Running away. It is another scorpion, just fleeing from us for some reason. There are another two if we need them, which we do. grab this first harpy quest on the way back round. Yeah, I would agree. Especially as you would probably see quite a lot of the small lustrous ones first. You possibly have more chance of getting them in random chests. I don't know. I mean, like the pearls are kind of things that you end up finding anyway along the way. Yeah. So sometimes you have to wait. Unfortunately, if you're self-found, it's not as simple
Hey, how you doing?
as just being, going and picking it up and being done. I mean, iridescent pearls from leveling are certainly things that I can say for sure that you do just end up with, and I mean I certainly at some point just ended up vendoring them because I wasn't going to use them. Um, but when you need them, you need them, and when you've used them, you don't need them. Everything else is just trash. So it's nice to see the first couple, and then it's just irritating in a way. But yeah, when you're looking for the ones you need, it's it can be a frustrating search. Can't quite skip that. Yeah. Um. So it's safe once you're there. It's not exactly safe to easily get to because you've got to go through Arathi Highlands. So you're talking level 35 to 37 creatures in some places near the road. But it is a path people do run sometimes. Um, but I mean, equally, I don't think it's worth going that far out of your way for one piece of gear. Like if you were making a like a low level dueling twink like people did in original vanilla with battleground twinks where you could stop the character from leveling up and just play battlegrounds at a specific level all the time, then it makes absolute sense to do it. But equally, at that point, people would trade and get the pearls quite easily. When you're talking self-found, you've kind of got to look at effort versus reward. You know, are the stats really that good to dedicate huge amounts of time to farming for it? Or might it be better to sort of keep the materials that you've got to hand and say, you know, if you're lucky enough to get the pearls when it comes to being a suitable level to do the turtle meat quest, do you get the pearls you're looking for at the time? You know? Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to kill a lot of Murlocs.
I have just the thing for you. Goodbye.
My advice would be keep the materials that you've got, and if you find pearls, then you'll be able to craft it. Great. But prior to that, it's probably not worth going out of your way to try and farm it. Your time is likely better spent continuing to quest and level or AoE farm or whatever it is in the spots that you have.
How you doing, man? Stay away from the voodoo.
Okay. Right, so we've got the antidote done. Now we can hand the antidote to them and look at Lost but Not Forgotten as well. And more importantly, the Harpy quest. Securing the lines provides a nice upgrade on a bow. 5 to 10 damage as opposed to 3 to 7. And it's faster as well. Now, we can, and I saw a couple out here earlier. I want to hit level 11 and then train and tame one of these corrupted boars. I think they look quite cool. They're a bit more interesting than the standard boar colour. But they may have been killed. Who knows? We'll have to have a look for them. They're slightly less likely to be killed because they're level 11 rather than level 8 or 9. So there's a fairly good chance that people will have had to avoid them just because they are higher level. Got some skinning to do as well. Can't complain at free leather.
How you do it, man?
Don't have a leather chest piece yet. Okay. Now we have leather armor chest. And now we're level 11. There we go. There's one. We need to abandon this other boar first. One thing that is really helpful for taming that stuff at low level is the health buff. Means that when it is attacking you, you'll be able to survive a significant amount of time, which makes the taming a lot easier. So we've got this level 10 one here. There was a level 11 corrupted boar around the corner. Whether that will still be there or whether it will also be level 10, I don't know. If it is 11, I want to get that one because that will match our level. We won't have to spend time leveling it up. First of all, we will need to find it if it is indeed alive. Scorpid. Crocolisk. Talon. Oh, we may as well go and grab this quest at this point. assuming this is not tameable. Yes. If it was tameable, it might be quite popular.
Zug zug for the horde.
Well, we'll come back up this way. Okay. Well, no, I can't see. I can't see the corruption one that was here before. I can't complain at the vast sea of leather that is strewn before me. To grab all of this. I think everybody's done that at some point. It's quite easy to forget when you've been fishing to simply swap it back. No, no. I think does it increase your crit chance ever so slightly? Yeah, the only thing which increases spell hit is gear that says it increases spell hit. And you won't see any of that until level sort of 55 plus, essentially. Right. We're going to layer, because I'm sick of seeing an area that's been farmed and is devoid of everything. Trying to find a boar to tame. Suppose we should have just grabbed the level 10 one when it was there, but I knew there were 2 level 11s that were around. I didn't think that perhaps both of them had been slain. There's one, it's level 11. Am I grabbing that one? We would be. Get close enough to it sensibly. Go. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tamed. Get some food, and then we can go and start to kill some crocodiles. Oh, yes. Might possibly just want to give it growl. 2. Okay. Can't remember how often it gets training points. Happiness levels. Okay. It is crazy how slow things died before and how fast they die now. Like you had to do a 20-second kite plus to kill some of the things earlier, and that was what, 8 seconds. Always make sure to feed your pet a lot, especially early on. Really helps. You want to get their content level higher because their happiness improves faster and they get better stats. So it's tapped. Okay, we need to layer because this is actually yes. Yeah, the random stats on items sometimes suddenly look very nice. And then you can't use it. Yes, that would be nice. I mean, I think being able to trade away would be perfectly fine. I imagine it was a lot easier for them to simply say, you cannot use the mailbox as far as an implementation point of view went. Yes, and trading health stones as a warlock. And that's one of the reasons I took self-found off at 60. Because like part of the reason you're there in a level 60 dungeon is to provide utility. And like while you're leveling, it's not really that vital. But when you're 60 and the dungeons are harder, if you're self-found, it's like, where are the hellstones? What's going on? Oh, nice. There's the amulet. And just in time to feed him again. It does become more challenging at 60. Um, I would say that like if you wanted to raid, then being self-found is kind of lethal to yourself in lots of random situations beyond your control. You do still like keep the buff. So you've got your Soul of Iron, Never Known Defeat, and you've got your Self-Found Adventurer. When you hit 60, like this combines into this a little bit to say that you leveled all the way to 60 as self-found, and that doesn't go away when you remove self-found. So there is always that acknowledgement that you keep on you. The only thing that goes away is the self-found adventurer tag. You say you still have the record of that you did level to 60 doing that. But if you can do an end game dungeons, I think, as self-found, and that's absolutely fine. I don't think that's too much of an impediment. I think you are possibly doing yourself a disservice trying to raid like that, though. There are so many materials and stuff that you would want. But also, if you're like one self-found person out of 40, is raiding like that really an achievement? That would be my question. Does that make sense? Like, if you could get a full raid of self-found hardcore players, and everybody in the raid was self-found, then that would be, I would recognize that as an achievement because everybody is self-found. It is self-found raiding. But given how difficult it probably is to find a raid group anyway, I suspect that would either be very difficult to set up outside of people specifically like making characters in order to do that. So given that if you did raid, it would almost inevitably be with people who were not self-found. At what point does the self-found become, an actual, does it maintain its meaning at 60 if you're just like 0.5% of the total of a raid group? Yeah, I mean, I would suspect that a lot of people dropped the SF for raiding purely because of how many characters require things like engineering to function, and how important like alchemy materials are and the like. But you'd need to talk to your guild to find out how many people did or didn't. It really. Oh, you logged off quickly. What? Oh, come on, not people like this party. To kill credit quest, stop competing. Whatever. They're here and in a party, and the leader is not there to invite. Well, I mean, you can ask for leadership. It's not that hard. So I got minor respawn behind me. Be okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's something. That's sort of what I expected. Like even when you start Molten Core, there's such a need for like greater fire protection potions and all the other alchemy buffs that you've got. You've got spell power and you've got flasks to use. But, you know, I think people would probably not want to raid unless they knew people had the appropriate buffs. They just feel it was a bit too dangerous for hardcore. And, you know, I can't blame them. You've played all the way to 60. You don't want to die in your first raid because you don't have the damage for an encounter. Yeah, there is kind of that too. I think there is an over reliance on Petri as well, though. Like some situations which could clearly be worked through and saved are quickly abandoned. Um, I think it's kind of needed, really. Like, there are a lot of people who raid who don't know the mechanics properly, or that you need some kind of protection against help our main tank disconnected, you know? And you still do see players die despite having Petri in their bags as well. So, it's not a complete foolproof thing.
What's up? Be good.
Okay. So, now we can head to Fizzle. And with any luck, we will be the only person there. Well, all the lizards are up, so we may get the chance to solo it. 7, 8-second kill. It's pretty decent kill speed. Le 11 seconds if I send the pet in early rather than at the same time as the first shot. Clear this last lightning hide, and then we'll start clearing the trash out of the camp and kill Fizzle. Do we have any food to give these all? Do. So we've got one patrol here. That's what we want to pull first. Wait till it's nice and far away from everything else. Send the boar in. Nice swift kill. Then we'll pull this one around the corner, away from everything else. Game over ground. Weird. Okay. Wait. We really want Fizzle to path away. He should do it at some point. There he goes. Then this should be low enough level to pull solo. Which is. And this should be free to pull solo. I'll feed the pet. And we'll serpent sting and pull back on the imp. Engage with the pet. And he's dead. No pot required. And then very quickly we'll come through the camp, grab the chest just in case there's anything decent. Find a healing potion. And we can feed the pet again. Water that. Earth root and pot. Is there anything that's actually worth? Feed the boar. He's respawned. Yeah, we really don't care. Okay. Anyway, next we go hand the quest in. For mail item 841 12 we're going to go down to Raise Hill. And in Dark Storms. And I think that will be our stopping point for tonight. Need to buy some more arrows. But other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah, man!
So that was a ding for the pet. Where is it? So loyalty level 3, which will give it more training points. So we can give it natural armor, give it great stamina. Got 11 training points left.
Blood and thunder.
Scraps, scraps. Feathers, mail. Leather, leather. Old bow. Earthroot, leather. Might need that. Do I need shadow gems? Probably not.
For the Horde. Blood and thunder. Farewell. Victory. McGraw. Go forth to victory. What do you need? For the Horde.
Okay, there we are. So we're all set for either doing Skull Rock or going to a different starting area to follow quest lines there. Not sure which I'll do yet. Might go to Mulgore first for all of the skinning. Could be good. Anyway, as things stand, that is it for tonight. We have solidly worked through all of these quests. We've got to a decent level. we're practically 12. Just a tiny little way away. I think it's been successful. The killing speed on the hunter is pretty huge. I think we probably will go. Yes, we should probably go mining next, and up engineering.
Loktar. Strength.
I'll just grab that item when I think of it. And
What can I help you with?
don't need that bag. Do you need a mining pick? Skinning, mining, quest item, ocean skull. Those can go in a bank.
Go forth to victory.
And I should probably craft the linen cloth into bandages as we end the stream. Just get this out of the way. Clear bags. Buy arrows. Must buy arrows. Don't want to start another day and not have arrows. It's all too easy to forget arrows. So bandages are really quite useful on a hunter. Unlike other classes that perhaps eat and drink, it's your pet that takes a lot of the damage. And so bandages on a pet just to keep going are really useful. It's not quite the same as like a warlock pets, because the warlock pets are mana reliant and the void walker might run out of mana and need resummoning to replenish that, whereas the hunter pets rely on focus, so that's more rogue-like in its regeneration.
Speak, friend. May your blades never dull.
What am I buying? Arrows.
What are you looking for?
Do we buy that? I don't think we do, because there must be another low-level quest that awards a decent bow. There has to be somewhere. Anyway, that is it for tonight. We have sorted out our bags. It's all clear, clutter-free, ready to go, regardless of what route we take. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.